There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been finding ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
Mi sentite? Mi sentite? Allora, direi di iniziare col primo panel che avevamo detto, quindi senza perdere tempo. Ciao Samuele, direi di andare a vederlo. Allora, come che era? Così? No? Questo?
fastest man alive. My name is Barry Allen. I am the Flash. My name is Barry Allen. And I am the fastest man alive. My name is Barry Allen. I am the Flash.
Welcome to DcFanDome. I'm Chancellor Agard from Entertainment Weekly, and this is the Flash panel. Joining me today, we have Grant Gustin, who plays the Scarlet Speedster himself, the Flash, aka Barry Allen. Candace Patton, who plays reporter extraordinaire Iris West Allen. Daniel Tannebaker, who pulls double duty as both Caitlin Snow and Frost. Carlos Valdez, who plays the ever-quotable mechanical engineer Cisco Ramon. Daniel Nicolay, who plays meta attorney Cecile Horton. Brandon McKnight, who plays enthusiastic scientist Chester P. Runk. And Kayla Compton, who plays Central City citizen intern Allegra Garcia. Also, we have showrunner and executive producer Eric Wallace. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. Before we talk about season 7, I do want to go back through season 6, which I think was a really unique year for the show. Because Eric, you came into the season, you decided to split the season into 2 parts. Looking back on it now, how successful do you feel that was? How effective was that?
I thought it was really successful. It gave a new energy, I think, to the season. In the first half with Bloodwork, we were able to really drill down on Barry's story and on dealing with crisis. Vice versa, in the back half, we're able to really drill into Iris's character and to Citizen and Eva's story. And then we'll see at the top of season 7 how it all comes together as well.
And for the cast, especially the ones who've been here since season 1, in the moment, could you feel something different about the show and how it was structured?
I loved it. I was a big fan of it. I'm really glad that we got to, it gives the opportunity to really flesh out those villains a little bit more and not spread them out so much that you feel like you're sort of filling in episodes to get to the end.
Yeah, I think a show needs to change in order to grow.
Yeah, I think as an actor too, it prevents fatigue throughout the season. 22 episodes is a long time, 9 months. And I think for us having this kind of break in the season where a new sort of storyline emerges kind of puts us in a headspace of, feeling reinvigorated with the work. So yeah, it makes the season a bit easier to swallow altogether.
As Eric mentioned, the first half of the season was very much about sort of Barry's walk up to crisis and him dealing with his mortality.
I don't know how you're doing this. Real or not, I'm coming for you.
And yet, I'm not your foremost concern, am I? Not as much as your inevitable demise in a coming crisis? Goodness, you really are full of surprises, aren't you? So tell me, When you saw all those permutations, billions of possible futures, all ending in your death, what role did I play?
Grant, for you, what was it like sort of dig into Barry in that way in the first half of the season, especially with episodes like The Last Temptation of Barry Allen?
That episode in particular, I've said it a few times since we finished it, but that was a really special episode to me. And I think it really was a good episode to show just kind of the culmination of all of his emotions and the conflict kind of boiling over. I just felt really lucky with all the material they gave me in The Last Temptation of Barry Allen, especially in part one. It was different than anything I think we've done and anything I've done on the show, and I had a great time with it.
Did you find that episode particularly challenging?
Oh yeah, and it was a special episode, but it was definitely super challenging. But visually, I thought they did a great job. Everyone was really proud of it. It was tough, but it was fun.
And on the flip side, we dug a lot more into Iris as a journalist. For you, Candace, what was it like to sort of explore that side of Iris in more detail?
It was a long time coming. I think we've kind of teased Iris being this ace reporter since season one. It's always kind of been put on the back burner. So it was a nice treat to finally have it be at the forefront of her character arc for the season. It's such a male-dominated cast. I love these guys, but having more women and having this kind of Charlie's Angels sort of, reporter team, it was really cool. It brought a new energy to the show, and I hope we carry on with that in the next season.
I do want to dig more into that because a couple fans had some Team Citizen questions that we'll get to towards the end. In this season, I guess, did you feel like you discovered something new about Iris through this material?
She has this conversation with Barry as Mirror Iris, but I think it's very indicative of how real Iris truly feels, which is that, she can't always be the victim, and she's not always looking to be saved, and that she has to go out there and kind of have her own agency and do her own thing. And I think it was, words that came through Mirror Iris, but it's very true of real Iris needing to have her own agency and her own life and her own mission. And so that to me was kind of the spark of Iris kind of taking over her own life and, still loving Barry and still wanting this deep, meaningful relationship, but kind of separating it away and saying, I have to do my own thing. I have to chase after villains. I have to chase after stories, no matter how dangerous it is. You put your life on the line to protect your city. And so I feel like I should have the right to do that as well, with superpowers or without. I was following up on a lead. So, there.
You were following a lead in the middle of the night? I mean, something could have happened to you.
Barry, that right there, that's why I didn't tell you. I don't need you to save me. I can handle myself.
How did you sort of make sense or separate in your mind Iris and Mirror Iris when you were playing them?
Iris and Mirror Iris, we wanted it to feel like we didn't know who was who. We wanted the audience to believe that Iris and Mirror Iris were almost identical. And as this season kind of progressed, we see these kind of chipping away of Mirror Iris becoming more and more sinister and evil and kind of being taken over more and more from Eva. So a lot of it came in the script of just letting the scripts progress and letting Mirror Iris become more and more sinister.
That's episode 611, Love is a Battlefield, in
There it
which
goes.
Oh yeah.
Iris gets to break a bottle over a dude's head. How awesome was that?
Fun, yes.
It was super fun.
I mean, that really culminated in the Barry versus Mirror Iris fight, which is something we've never seen those two characters do, or in a situation like that with each other. When you guys first joined the show, did you guys ever think that you'd get to do something, do like a fight scene like that together?
Oh.
I just assumed I'd always play this kind of, straight edge reporter. And so for me to ever get powers and then to have a dual personality and get to fight, I mean, it's all dream comes true kind of stuff. For 6 years, I think any actor is always looking for variety.
And on the subject of new things, I mean, this season we got 2 new characters with Chester and Kayla, and we have 2 now series regulars coming into season 7. How was your experience sort of coming into a show that's sort of 6 seasons in and sort of finding your way through it?
I was intimidated for sure. I knew these guys were a family and I was nervous. I think it was Danny who was one of the first people that made me feel so welcome. We were shooting a scene and it was really hot, and she just took me under her wing instantly. And I remember she was like, "Do you want to take a picture?" And I was like,
Do I want to take a picture with you? Yes. And then I got the courage to like ask other people to take pictures because she had like made me feel so welcome instantly. So that transition was really lovely for me.
I was a big fan. I am a big fan of the show, and I watched the show. The Flash is my little sister's favorite superhero, so we've watched the show since season 1. So I came in already like understanding what the show was about, like what the show's tone was, stuff like that. For me, it was more so just meeting everybody and getting into the same vibe that everybody else, because everybody had 5-6 years to really learn about each other and learn how everybody works together. And I was just trying to find my spot and my place without interrupting or changing too much.
And Brandon, I know in the past, Eric has talked about sort of how with Chester, he views sort of Chester, it's sort of like him, his sort of enthusiasm about science and all that. I'm curious, one, what conversations did you have with Eric about sort of crafting this performance as Chester? And 2, did you base any of it on Eric himself?
I remember the first day on set, I met Eric, and it's funny, the first episode 601, the first maybe 3 or 4 days, I was pretty much just in a coma the entire time. So I was just laying on a bench or sitting at a table and stuff like that. And I remember him telling me, because I had the monologue coming up when I'm in my garage and I'm doing the stream. And I remember him just telling me, this guy's brain works faster than his mouth. He can't speak as quickly as he thinks. So every time he has a thought, he's going to another place, and then he has another thought, and he's excited about all the thoughts that he's having. So those are like that. I remember that specifically because I remember going into it being like, I don't know how much energy this guy's supposed to have. He's written with a lot of energy. He's written to be really zany and really crazy and really fun, but I don't know how big I'm allowed to go and blah, 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 blah. So Eric really showed me that, you can go as big as you want to go. If it's too much, they'll take it down, that sort of thing.
I'll never forget the first time I saw Brandon work. Danielle was directing, so I came by set to see how it was going. And they were shooting the montage of like, you had just woken up and you were like, exploring Star Labs and checking all the equipment. Yeah. And I don't think I'd even met you yet. I was looking at you on the monitor.
Yeah, that was the first day we met,
Yeah, I mean, I think I came in and said something to you because I said to Danielle, like, this dude is incredible. Like, you were doing things that, I wish I could get to do on the show. And I certainly wouldn't be able to do them the way that you can do them. So I was super impressed.
It was so fun. I mean, I remember that scene too, that sequence. I had such a good time, and I feel like we shot a lot more than ultimately ended up in the episode. But we were just having such a good time with it. But I also remember in 601, we saw your monologue. I think it was certainly before I'd had any scenes with you. And I feel like we watched your monologue and we all looked at each other and we're like, oh, he's great. So you really came into the show with a lot of love.
Hey, what up, party people? Welcome to a world where all are welcome and anything, including the scientifically impossible, can and probably will happen. I'm your boy, Chicka Chester, with knowledge from the bleeding edge of physics and beyond.
Kayla, with Allegra, I'm curious, coming into the show, I mean, how did you sort of connect with your character and in what ways did you relate to her?
The way I look at Allegra is that she just wants to fit in and belong somewhere. And I just super resonate with that. Family is really important to me. My friendships are really important to me. And belonging to something or having a community is just really important to me. So that was one of the first things that I connected with Allegra. She just wants a family and she wants to belong, and she hasn't had that previously. And so I just super resonate with her on that level.
For you, I guess
you're in the Flash family now.
Yeah. Thanks.
I mean, with the character, did you feel like you sort of really clicked in with her immediately, sort of on day one, or was there sort of a process for you to sort of figure your way through that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I learned more about her with every episode. I also, my first episode, I didn't know if there was going to be more episodes for me. And so that was all I had. And so I just really gave that my everything. And in that first episode, you learn a lot about, or a little bit about her history and a criminal background. And so that I didn't necessarily immediately get on with, but as I've, done more episodes, I learned a lot more about her and loved her more and connected with her more.
Danielle, I mean, we just talked about your directorial debut, and I was curious. I feel like you've spoken a lot about how sort of acting has informed you as a director. I'm curious, after directing 2 episodes of the show, how has that sort of formed how you approach your role as an actor on the show, both as Caitlin and Frost?
I feel like part of the reason I love directing so much is because I've always tried to, be on set with my eyes wide open and look at all the different departments and learn as much as I can. So I definitely feel like it's informed. You're right. I do feel like the directing's informed my acting, but hopefully my acting informed my directing too. All, those years of experience and spending time on set. I love it. I'm excited to get back to work too.
And this season 6, was all about sort of Frost finding herself or finding a way to craft a life for herself. For you, what was it like to explore that journey with this character in season 6?
It was great. It was really fun to get to explore Killer Frost as a real character and a person and a human being with feelings and emotions, and not just necessarily this person who, pops up for a fight and then disappears and we don't really know her perspective on things. So it was really fun to get to dig in and flesh that out and have a little bit of fun with it. Like Candace was saying earlier, it's nice to have the variety after, 6 seasons and we're rapidly approaching 150 episodes.
For you, what do you think is sort of the next step for Frost in her sort of development?
I'm excited because it sounds like Killer Frost is going to go on a date soon, and I'm really excited to see that.
That might happen.
Do we think she has the best table manners? Probably not.
And Danny, again, on the subject of change, this season for Cecile, she sort of decides to become a meta attorney for metahumans. For you, what has it been like to see this character evolve from when she was initially introduced to where she is now?
She went from being a regular person to having powers, but then those powers evolving, and they continue to evolve every season. So it's fun for me because every time I get to explore where it's going. And since I joined the show a couple seasons after it started, I always sort of felt like coming into it, my job was to figure out how I can be whatever puzzle piece is missing. Everyone else on the show's already so amazing, and their characters are so well fleshed out that I'm always trying to figure out where Cecile fits and where she can support the team and where she can support the show in its entirety. So it's a blast for me because I got to be a regular person, then I got to be a telepath, and then I got to be an empath, and then now I am a meta defense attorney. And then from what I understand, there's going to be some shifts next season too.
In shooting those scenes where her empath powers sort of come into play, how do you sort of go through that as the actor? Do you sort of imagine the sound we eventually hear on TV, or how do you?
It was a little hard to kind of wrap my head around in the beginning. I think it's hard for anyone to play powers, whether they're coming out of their hands or they're inside or somewhere in the middle. I think just as an actor, you have to go back to basics and believe where you're at and completely invest in your character's reality. And that's her reality. And so I try to really just believe what's on the page and what's written for me and play it exactly that way.
Is there something that you're hoping to do that you haven't gotten a chance to do on the show yet?
I have always, this is not news to anybody, Eric will not be surprised, I have wanted Cecile to be bad, just a little bit bad, forever, so just a little bit, because she's so good. I would have a lot of fun playing bad Cecile. I've offered many times to switch powers with Killer Frost just for an episode, but unfortunately, Eric does not believe me to be as good of a writer as I am an actor. So he continues to not buy my pitches.
But I listen. I am listening. I'm listening. I feel you. You never know. You never know.
And Carlos, this season 5 ended with him giving up his powers, and this season was very much about him figuring out what his role on the team was without those powers. After 5 seasons of Cisco's vibe, what was it like for you to explore this Cisco in a new place like this?
I don't think he regrets that decision, but I think it definitely haunts him. I'm actually feeling a lot like Cisco these days because I'll have a fan that I'll see on the street or whatever. They'll be like, yo, but vibe though. come on. And I have to imagine Cisco's probably feeling very similarly. Like, I know, okay? But, it was such a big decision for him that I feel like the ripple effect, the repercussions for that in terms of, Cisco's sense of identity, we're still seeing those waves, and we'll continue to see those waves into season 7. So I'm just, riding the wave.
The beginning of season 6 actually had an episode called Kiss Kiss Breach Breach, which is Cisco-centric. And included on the DVD set coming out in August is a black and white version of that episode. And we have a clip from that episode. So let's check it out.
You murdered my daughter!
No, I didn't do it! I swear!
Liar!
You have to believe me! Leave him alone!
Where did you get that?
In Cisco's workshop. I don't know how it got there.
I do. He just murdered my daughter with it.
No, Preacher, I don't care what you think you saw, okay? You know Cisco, you know how much he cared about Gypsy. There's gotta be another explanation.
Babe, please.
No, what about doppelgangers?
She's right. There's thousands of other versions of me out there.
Yeah, and they're all pencil pushers. None of them are scientists like you. You had motive, just enough guts to do this.
Preacher, I swear, I don't know how this is possible.
Unless it breeds psychosis.
Camilla, what time did you find me sleepwalking the other night?
I don't know. Maybe 4 a.m.?
Oh! Oh! You're guilty! But you're not in your right mind. I didn't just lose a daughter today. I lost a son. Because I still respect the man you were. Now, I'm gonna give you an hour to get all your affairs in order, and then turn yourself in, or I will end you.
Wow, right.
Pretty cool,
That was so exciting.
Very cool.
Eric, what was it? What went into this to release a black and white version of this episode?
Well, it's a film noir story, and I always wanted it to be black and white. What was really great in making the episode with the director Manoj Huda, he had an idea, because he knew I wanted it to be in black and white. He said, well, why don't we do the vibes in black and white? And it's something that Carlos had always talked about, is how you could do vibes differently and how unique that could be as a directorial challenge. And Carlos was saying how even way back in season 1, that was something they needed to figure out. Well, when Minaj did that, we cut it into the episode. It dawned on me, oh, we can have a special edition of this that achieves this vision of an entire film noir story, all in black and white. Danny Trejo in black and white. How awesome is that?
Carlos, for you, I mean, that episode was so Cisco-centric about him dealing with Gypsy's death. What was it like leading the A-plot?
So gratifying to my budding narcissism. Getting to work with Danny is always like such a pleasure. And also getting to like really sort of navigate the relationship with Camilla too. I felt like at that point, like, the relationship was progressing and it needed to like, reach a major crucible or something. And I think that episode definitely did that. And it was a perfect way to like sort of demonstrate how these two are compatible. So yeah, it was very gratifying.
And the last time we saw Cisco in the season, he was heading off to Atlantis. I'm curious, in your mind, have you sort of thought about what Cisco does, what someone does in Atlantis when they visit?
I just like, chatted up with the dolphins and stuff. Like definitely, probably some Aquaman action in there somewhere. I hope Cisco comes back from Atlantis soon, because Atlantis does not pay as well. So.
And on that note, we also have a sizzle reel for what's to come in season 7. When we last left off season 6, Eva McCulloch had gotten what she wanted, and she framed Sue. And the sizzle will sort of tease what's to come when the show returns. So let's check out that clip.
I've achieved my goal. This company is all mine. You lost your speed? You're not much of a threat, are you? You just stay out of my way, Flash.
Iris is my wife. I have to save her.
What are you? I am a product of your broken mind.
How much speed do you have left?
Enough for a few hours. I need your help to build an artificial speed force. That's how I can get my speed back.
I was an empath too, only I never held back. What did you do to me? Imagine what you'd become if you weren't so afraid. This time, no one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your husband. There's only two options in this place. Survival or madness. Cannot be all, cannot be all. You lied.
Yeah, I lied.
Oh, frack.
There's a supersonic jet about to crash over the city.
And the Flash isn't fast enough to stop it.
Eva can move anywhere, through any mirror in the universe, in the blink of an eye. She's faster than I am, and somehow I'm supposed to stop her?
I have unfinished business and a whole world to liberate.
We need a plan. We've all lost so much this year. Some things can't be taken. We still have our will to fight for those we love.
Keep watching. Keep trying to break me. Because I'm not afraid of the woman that I am today. But you are, Eva.
Team Flash needs as many hands on deck as possible. Well, now, Flash.
We go save Iris and our friends.
Get everybody back.
Eric, can you talk about what we're seeing there?
When we had the shutdown happen, as unfortunate as it was, we were on the last day of filming for what would have been the 20th episode of last season, which now will become partially the first episode of season 7. So we did have 85% of the footage that we were able to use. Plus, also, we knew where we were going already in season 7. So even though it's only footage really from one episode, pay attention to the way it's presented. It's actually huge spoilers all over the place.
And that sizzle had a lot of Iris in it, a lot of Iris in the Mirrorverse. Candace, I mean, can you sort of, in your mind, I guess, how do you think her time in the Mirrorverse has sort of affected her?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see when she comes out, and I believe she will come out very soon when we pick up season 7. It'll be very interesting to see how she's been affected by being kind of stuck in this maddening world with this super villain. Obviously, Team Flash and Barry were working to get her. It took a while. I don't know if there's some resentment there or what's going on, or if there's even some like residual mental effect of being in that mirror world and seeing things backwards and how that affects her. I have no idea. That's kind of up to Eric.
And Danny, the sizzle also showed that there's more to come in the way of Cecile's powers. What can you share about that?
I think that it's fair to say Cecile's powers up until this point have been passive. And I think going forward, we're going to see them evolving into something that's more active. We're going to find Cecile exploring that and maybe struggling with it a little bit and finding her way with it. And possibly getting herself into some trouble in the meantime.
Definitely.
Chester becomes even more integral to Team Flash as sort of Team Flash sort of coming back together. What can you say about Chester's sort of the role that Chester will sort of fill on Team Flash?
What Chester's real superpower is his optimism.
Nash currently has sort of all of the Welleses from the old multiverse in his mind. I guess in season 7, how will the way in which Wells is used change for the show?
Radically, but super fun, and you're not gonna see it coming. I love the Allegra and Nashwell's relationship so much. It was one of the joys when the dailies would come back and I would see these two wonderful actors kind of getting to know each other from early on, and then exorcism of Nash Wells, learning why they kind of have this relationship. So there'll be more of that.
Preview showed that sort of Barry is sort of working as hard as he can to get his powers back, get his speed back. I mean, for you, do you think Barry has enjoyed any part of not having his speed at this point, or do you think he really does just really misses it, I guess?
Yeah, no, I think he really just misses it. I don't think, especially with Iris being trapped in the Mirrorverse at the moment, and then Eva being a factor, I don't think any part of him has been like, well, I guess I'll just enjoy this downtime while I can. I think he genuinely not just wants his powers back, but he feels that he needs them back, and he's also started to feel that they define him and what is he without them. Yeah, I mean, it's taking a toll on him, it just mentally.
Big bads for season 7. Eric, what can you tease about who these new, or who I guess at least the first one, who they will be, and what and how they will sort of challenge Team Flash in a new way?
Wow, I don't like spoilers. Let's just say there was a certain speedster who wore a white costume whose clones kept showing up, and it really Team Flash had to deal with that, but we never caught the real guy or girl, right? Who knows? Let's just say we might find out that mystery this season.
Spoilers. I mean, without spoiling, I guess for you, what makes Godspeed an interesting villain for you? Just on, I guess, without getting into sort of what the show can do with it, but just like coming to the season, what was it about Godspeed? You're like, oh, there's something there for that.
Two things. One, the current run of the comics that Joshua is writing is terrific, and I want to make sure that new fans, especially new young fans who are reading the comic book right now, are welcomed to the show. So it's not just Silver Age villains and Bronze Age villains. There might be a young girl or a young boy who is reading those Flash comics right now and going, where's my villain, my generation's villain?
Who is this guy anyway?
An old family friend. His name's Godspeed, and he's from the future.
I want that same experience for a young person now to go, well, my villain is Godspeed. He's only 8 years, he's only been around for 5 or 8 years or so. So bringing him in is very important to me to expand the audience. That's number one. Two, Godspeed, unlike, say, Reverse Flash, has no emotional connection, supposedly, right, to the Flash. So the question is, why is Godspeed angry at the Flash? We got to keep the show fresh. We've got more to say.
In light of everything that's happened recently, we have two characters on the show, Barry and Joe, who work for the police department. And have you sort of thought about how you're going to approach their jobs in this coming season, and maybe change or maybe not?
The world right now is on fire. We have to look at what's around us. It definitely informs specifically Joe's story this season, but in a good way and in a positive way, because we need to be socially responsible as artists. Yes, I love comic books and the Flash, but I'm a person first. We have to be people first and work together to make the world a better place. I believe that. That's where those changes are coming from. So yeah, you'll notice some changes, definitely.
And with that, let's move on to some fan questions.
Hi, I'm Sammy, and this is my question. How is Nashwell's going to adjust with all of the new Harrisons in his mind?
What's it like having a million wells in your head? You're going to find out real fast.
For Grant, which from all over the world wanted to know this, when will we get to see the Flash in the iconic gold boots?
Well, this might be a question for me, but really it's for Eric, because I don't know if this is saying too much, but if it were up to me, it would have been like 2 seasons ago. So I think Eric's going to have to answer this one.
Yeah, well, Grant and I have talked extensively about this. For the record, I love gold boots too, right? I just think they must be earned, right? So it's like, when's the right time to unleash them? I think a story is the best way to unleash them. So I'm determined to get you your gold boots, Grant. I promise. I just can't say when, but it will happen. I promise.
Christmas is always a good time to give gifts.
And from South Africa, this is a two-part question. First, as the leader of Team Citizen, how will we see Team Citizen evolve once the show returns?
I don't know. That's more of a question for Eric.
Yes, you'll see much more of Team Citizen investigating a very specific thing that I can't talk about right now because I feel terrible, but it's true. It's true. But they've got a lot of fallout because the leader of Team Citizen is in the Mirrorverse. So what's been going on with Team Citizen while she's been gone? I think they need to start there.
And the second part of that question, can we expect to see more of the mentorship relationship between Iris and Allegra and more of the Team Citizen office?
I hope so. I would expect so. I think if we're going to be spending a lot of work time together, I think it's only natural for two women to have an evolving relationship. And I think we've already kind of seen that grow in season 6. And I hope there's more of that in season 7. I think it's a great opportunity for a really beautiful female relationship and friendship.
What could need our attention more than this? Your cousin was a victim, Allegra, and now some secret organization is using her. I mean, how many others are they using?
We need to help them. Right. I mean, no one wants to find out what happened to Esperanza more than me, but is this really what matters the most to you right now?
Yeah. Now, come on, get your stuff. Camilla is going to see if she can recover any other photos. You and I have a stakeout date. You're the boss.
Yeah, I
Taylor,
echo
what do
that. I echo that. I'm really looking forward to that. And I think it's got to happen, right? Especially as we've expanded Candace's story, Iris's story. I think this is the first time Iris has ever had someone come under her, right? So this is a really good opportunity for lots of new fun stuff.
Last season, we got to see some romantic moments between Barry and Iris, even though it was Mirror Iris. Will we get to see more of that with the real Iris this season? And this question comes from Jamaica.
Iris will be getting out of the Mirrorverse shortly after we return with season 7. So regardless of what exactly that's going to entail, we're going to see them together a lot more next year than we did last year.
They will find their way back to each other eventually. A lot of the romance and the chemistry between Grant and I has always been something even deeper than that. It's the way we look at each other and the way the characters are written.
And Grant, this one's for you. We have some amazing Flash fan art and cosplay to show you.
Okay, guys, right now I'm looking at a cosplay fan art of Vladimir Morisot. I hope I'm saying that right. He's from California, and this thing is epic. Honestly, he's got a better superhero pose than I think I've ever had for a Flash photo shoot, so I could learn a thing or two from Vladimir, I think. All right, I love this one by Shannon Beltran from the UK. It's me and my bud Wally, Keenan Lonsdale. I love this moment when we were reunited and we did our fist bump. I think it was scripted as a fist bump, which we were happy to do, but then we were like, I'm hugging Keenan. This is awesome. Good job, Shannon. Hamlet Roman from Colombia. Awesome image of Barry, myself as Barry, running up a building, and the season 2 suit, I believe, season 2, season 3. This thing's really cool. God, you guys are talented.
Well, that'll do it for us today. Thank you all for joining me for this panel. I had a really good time. For everyone watching, please make sure you tune into The Flash when it returns in 2021. And again, remember that The Flash, the complete 6th season, is available now on digital and comes out on Blu-ray and DVD on August 25th.
Ok ragazzi, abbiamo visto il panel di Flash, come vi è sembrato? Per chi è ancora in live, che panel volete vedere? Lucifer, Legend of Tomorrow, Stargirl? Oh, sì, Stargirl. Ok, buona visione, ragazzi.
Hey everybody, I'm Sherwin Shalati, one of the directors of Lucifer. Very fortunate to be one of those folks, and I just want to introduce to you guys a very special sneak peek of the Lucifer musical episode.
Hey Ella, you want to catch Lucifer up?
Oh, sure. So, it was the fourth quarter. It had just hit the 2-minute warning. Cathedral High's down by 3, but they've got possession.
Cheerleader, do you want to just skip to the
flag on the play? Right. Well, poor Steve Rockwell here dropped dead at the 50-yard line.
Everyone thought he died of a heart attack, but Ella figured out he was murdered.
Yeah, someone wet his whistle with poison.
That blows.
Nice. What are you gonna do though, right? Another one bites the dust.
Miss Lopez, you all right? Earth is happening?
Let's go. Steve walks warily down the street with a brim pulled way down low. No sound but the sound of his feet. Machine guns ready to go.
Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of beat. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Bite the dust.
Kind of dusty.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey. Another one bites the dust. There are plenty of ways that you can hurt a man and bring him to the ground. You can beat him, you can cheat him, you can treat him bad and leave him when he's down. Yeah, but I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready for you. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. Out of the doorway, the bullets rip, repeating to the sound of the beat. Oh yeah. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.
What just happened?
I already told you. Poison whistle.
Wow. I don't even know where to go from here, but I'd like to introduce, that is a mic drop moment. I'd like to introduce our showrunners of Lucifer, Ildi Madrovich and Joe Henderson. Welcome, you guys.
Hello.
Hello.
I mean, we're gonna get to that clip in a second. My brain can't even process it, but I wish we could be together right now. I wish we could be in the same room, but this will certainly do. I'm so glad to see your faces. The fans have been waiting for a musical episode of Lucifer. I need to know so many things, but let's start with, when did you guys even have the idea that this could be an actual thing?
Gosh, I'll say it's been a slow build, a slow burn. After, I mean, in my heart, it began to blossom after the Vegas episode when Tom and Amy did Luck Be a Lady. And I remember coming into rehearsal for that and crying because it was such a dream come true, and it was so exciting to me. I'm like, and if there's any show that you could actually do a musical on, it's this one.
It was my personal mission to do a musical episode without actually having to do it, because it's really hard and exhausting. So I loved that Ildi wanted to do it, and I could be part of it, but not actually have to do all of the hard work.
Well, I remember, when I started with you guys, season 2, like hearing rumblings of, little thing every season musical, is that going to happen? And it definitely felt like a fever dream. Like I didn't know that was really going to happen. And when it all came together, I mean, wow, what a cool surprise and incredible experience it was for all of us working on it. For the folks at home, was lucky enough to direct this episode, but it's going to be, I just can't wait for the fans to see it. Oh, one thing I want to do is congratulate you guys on season 6. I mean, another go around, another way to bring this baby home. I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
You can't kill the devil, my friend.
Yep.
Can't do it.
Can't keep a good devil down. It is the strangest thing. We are potentially the most canceled / uncanceled show that's ever existed.
That's a cool distinction. I like that.
Yeah.
No, it's a mixture of emotional whiplash and also joy and gratitude because we had a chance to end the season series 5, season 5, because we were told it was ending, and then we were given the option to decide whether or not we had more story to tell. And at first we were like, no, we think this is it. We're ready to go. And it was very much in our court. And Ildy and I in the room talked about it a bunch, and we're like,
well, we got one more story to tell.
And we're 2 weeks into the room, and I can't imagine not telling the story.
Wow. Let's talk really quickly. Like, what goes into prepping and shooting, and even the post-production side, a musical episode like this? Like, can you guys speak to that?
I don't know.
I mean, we almost broke production. We almost broke our show. Seriously, we had to create, right? Remember, I mean, we had to create a completely separate schedule just to track all the rehearsals for the dance, rehearsals for the music, and all the recording sessions for the music. And we just had to have track every single thing just to coordinate it. And I think we almost exploded our show. We really did.
And then when you guys found out, when you actually got the news that the musical episode is happening, it's been approved, Warner Brothers was into it, all that stuff. What was that feeling after years of thinking about it?
Part of the challenge was we were always trying to find the reason. Part of it is, it's like to me, in these musical episodes, you've got to have the story-based reason that everyone breaks into song. And our show has people breaking into song all the time, but it's because they're at Lux or because of reasons like that. So one of the challenges is, what element can we introduce that is organic to our story that allows all of our cast to burst into song? And when we found that, which I'm not going to say what it is,
no
spoiler.
I'll say it's genius, but continue.
That's when it came together.
Yes.
Awesome. And would you say, as far as the cast goes, were there people who were more excited than others that you guys were going to do this musical episode? Like, who was the most jazzed and who was the least jazzed?
Well, it's funny because at the beginning of every season, we have the actors come in one by one, and we kind of talk about what their story is going to be for the season. And this time, it was a question: what do you feel comfortable doing? We're going to do the musical. Do you want to sing? Do you want to dance? Do you want to do both? Pretty much everybody was like, oh, I want to do all of it.
It was fun to watch people decide where their comfort level was, because it's something that very much we wanted to empower them to feel like, listen, do as much as little as you want, but this is your opportunity to do this if you want to.
Can you guys confirm or deny that Tom Ellis had a special suit made for him that stretched, had a lot of give so he could do his dance move?
Oh, I believe it's called wefting. And yes, he does indeed have a special suit. It has elastic in the armpits.
Oh, I didn't know this.
And in the crotch area. And I believe even so that you may kick and raise your arms without splitting. But I believe he split the crotch anyway.
Was there a moment when, during the prep of the episode or during the episode, where you guys may have thought, oh God, what have we done?
Most of production had that
feeling every minute of every day. They're like, what'd you do, man? Whereas we were like,
By the way, I want to take over this interview a second. Sherwin, what scene as a director was the one that that challenged you or that you found the most interesting to do?
So I would have to say the finale of the episode is one that I put, obviously I put a lot of thought into everything, but I wanted that one to have a special quality, a standalone quality, but not for the reasons the audience might think. So I'm pretty confident that we built the momentum up to get to that point in the episode. So to answer your question, it would probably be that final number that has so much going on in it, yet not that much at all.
It is a beautiful duet. I will say.
Yeah, I think all the songs, there's a lot of funny, but there's also a lot of emotion, and so there's a great range of feelings that are expressed.
As someone who wasn't there at all, I'm curious what else happened during rehearsal with the actors, moments you might have found that we see on the screen, or things like that, just as you guys were both exploring the space and the song.
Well, go LD, go.
I was going to say, I wonder if we're going to say the same thing. Is that even in like Another One Bites the Dust, which was so choreographed, it had to be. Yeah. There were still moments of improvisation
that made the cut. Yes.
Correct.
Tell me, I want to know.
Well,
yeah.
Can you pick it out?
Yeah, that's the key. There is a moment that one of the actors, does something on her own volition.
We did not say do it.
It was not a piece of choreography, but so many of the, we would like be dancing, between takes and like just messing around. Like everyone would just be having so much fun that like you discover things in those moments, and then you'd end up putting it in the show. So there's like 0.05% of improv in there, but it's in there. It did make the cut.
I think we can say it's Lauren. A moment between. It's a moment between Lauren and Tom.
And Lauren really takes control of the moment.
She really takes control of the moment.
Well, but that's also what's great with working with actors and working with people who understand comedy and those. It's like they're working within very strict boundaries, but they still find those little moments within it.
Yes.
That's so true. I mean,
she found it.
She sure did.
We hit the floor. It's so funny.
Oh my God! I begged her to leave it in the cut. So I'm glad it made it. I saw it when I just watched the clip.
No begging needed. Yeah.
I am so excited for the fans to see this episode. It was such a pleasure to work on it. Always such a pleasure to work with you guys. And this is going to be a special one for the show. So thank you, Ildi. Thank you, Joe. We love you guys. We hope season 6 is getting started with a bang, and hope
it's
to
good.
See you soon.
It's good. And thank you, Sherwin. You directed a hell of an episode.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
You slayed it.
Thanks
I can't wait for everybody to see it.
Hi. So it's like a boxer getting ready for a fight. Okay, sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay, go.
Well then, I guess that's case closed.
Yeah.
Detective, I know that you and me, it's... Look. No, she's not.
Oh my God, it's so big. It's so big.
Is it gone?
Oh, it's back. Right back. Yeah, he likes your backside.
Oh,
He does?
God. Oh.
Nobody moves.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, what was that? It felt enormous.
Oh, pumped it up.
I made sure all the bases were covered for you. Boom.
God, we still have to pick him up.
What's that?
What was that? I'll show you what that was.
Oh my God!
Hi, sorry.
off my bridge.
Linda?
Nope. Nope, can't do it. What?
Can't do
I
what?
heard an oath. What happened? I heard somebody said, oh. I was like, no. I'm sorry, but that made me lose my acting boner. Sorry.
Right, I see what's happening here.
You do?
Yes, and you needn't worry, detective, because the acting police are here.
Will you marry me?
I'm sorry.
Picks up the Candy Dandy Rave donuts instead of the regular glazed ones. Instead of the regular glazed ones. One bite of these. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know.
Start up the hoist down, Kayla.
Oh God, it looks like a cheese pizza.
I know.
No.
Give me your gun.
Okay.
Put it on the floor.
Okay.
And your phone. And your phone.
Where's my phone?
It's in my pocket. Sorry.
Sorry.
Forgive me, Father. Oh, shit, sorry.
Here, take my strong hand.
This is the new cast member
We
this
should
season.
talk about this.
Just beneath the surface. I'll put that line up tonight.
Linda!
Hey, stop it, you two. It's good that I'm here. No? No? Oh, wait, what just happened? I'm so confused.
No, we're acting.
You guys are so good. You are so good.
Some stereotype, right?
Right. Right.
I can't get out of here. I can't.
Oh my God, it felt so good, you know? Just. What is this?
Yes, exactly. Letting loose.
I don't want to pick you out, but I think we're out of time. Like,
Because that would be. What is it?
If you didn't come this far, then why did you invite me here? Wait. Are you gonna throw me how to throw? Wait. Are you gonna throw me how to throw throws today? No, wait. Oh my God, wait. Are you gonna teach me how to throw knives today?
No.
Siamo rimasti.
Memories die out too hard. When we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We sat down by the fire, knowing we couldn't hide, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Ok, iniziamo anche questo.
Hello, Chancellor. We're in the temporal zone, and the legends are on the bridge.
Hello, and welcome to DcFanDome. My name is Chancellor Agard, and I'm with Entertainment Weekly, and this is DC's Legends of Tomorrow panel.
Stalin, Caligula, if they get out, they'll destroy the city.
Okay, got any ideas, Cap?
Just a lot of bad ones. Let's go save the world.
First off, we have Katie Lotz, who plays Wave Rider Co-Captain and the White Canary, Sarah Lance. Nick Zana, who plays Super Historian, Nate Haywood. Kala Ash, who plays futuristic social media influencer and air totem wielder, Zari Tarazi. Jess McCallan, who plays Wave Rider Co-Captain and serial killer podcast host, Ayla Sharp. Matt Ryan, who plays self-proclaimed nasty piece of work, John Constantine. Gideon herself, Amy Louise Pemberton. Cheyenne Sobian, who plays the bud-loving air totem wielder, Farad Tarazi. Also, Olivia Swan, who plays Astrologue. Also joining us, we have the producers, executive producer Phil Klemmer, executive producer Keto Shimizu, and executive producer Grania Godfrey. How are you guys doing?
Good job, Chance. That was a lot.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Panel, guys.
We actually have a blooper reel clip that I will toss to now.
Now, can we kill them?
Questionable.
Sorry, I'm just gonna. Oh, that's your own hair. I gotta pull it.
Wait, one sec. Just, yeah. It's good of it. Let's go.
Is this thing on?
Oh, shit.
Take this. Oh.
Not like it. Is that yours or mine?
Hold, please. My phone is talking to me. Let's do that again.
Hello? Yeah, no, I'm doing a scene. It's all right. I'll give you a call back in a bit, yeah?
Wait, give him your camera. Give him your camera, and then he can take it.
Great. Now we can do the scene.
That was wrong. That's okay.
This seems
Just
so
pick up
hard.
You almost just broke my nose.
It's like here. Wait, focus. There it is.
Yup, bah.
Way too much.
You're on your own. Figure it out.
You did not nail that one. Here I am. I'm getting married. It's great.
They're gonna do it.
Get out of the shot!
Nuggets done.
Gideon, run! Save yourself!
Going to hell generated a lot of anxiety.
Donna! Donna, come!
Stay. Stay.
Oh, we're not making this thing.
No late night snacks for you, Gary Jr. squared. No late night snacks for you.
We're leaving.
And then we all turned into a giant Bebo and it exploded!
CGI it be exploding and be metal everywhere and spot. Guys, I'm trying to work. Oh, hey, Craig. Just second unit.
Smile, Bebo! What? You know, sometimes what happens on this show really would be hard for an audience to follow.
Pick Legends. Nominate us for an Emmy.
Okay.
It's not easy doing it twice.
It's not.
It is, no, it's not. No. And this is why I don't act.
know.
I feel like this is a weird thing that we're doing. It's virtual as opposed to in a big convention hall because of everything that's going on. I'm curious, what do you guys think the Legends would be doing right now in their own respective quarantines?
Oh God.
I think John will be doing what he's always doing, which is having a whiskey and trying not to have a cigarette because he's kind of kicked that habit. So he'd probably just be having a whiskey, saying, "Hey, let the world go by."
I would imagine Nate's falling in love with somebody else and then
Well, then break the heart.
Virtual romance.
I think
Sarah and
Zari is
Ava be
probably like conquered TikTok. In a TikTok.
Berrod probably would have been the #1 League of Legends player in the world.
I reckon Astra's just lounging around on like a fur rug somewhere, just rolling in money. But she managed to. Some unwilling soul.
I think Gideon would be getting everyone to do like a Trivial Pursuit, but no one's interested. She's like, number one, question A, guys, like no one cares.
Before talking about season 6, I do want to talk a bit about season 5, which was a major season for the show in many ways. I want to start with Katie. You made your directorial debut this season. What was that experience like for you? What was it like directing your castmates?
They were awesome. It was so much fun. I mean, on so many levels, I learned so much, and it was such a good experience to be able to kind of bond with the crew on that side and get a look under the covers. And the cast was amazing. We had so much fun. I think, after so many years of building rapport with each other, that it made it easier, of course, to kind of, and hopefully, I mean, everybody was really nice. Nobody was a jerk or anything. Except for maybe Matt. Just kidding.
Yeah, Matt. And with that, I mean, also, I feel like this season 5 for Sarah and Ava was really about them sort of learning how to co-captain the Wave Rider. I'm curious though, if this were any other show, if they weren't constantly sort of fighting monsters or aberrations, what do you think? Like, what is sort of Sarah and Ava's like 5-year plan? Like, where do you see them heading towards?
Ava's probably got a very specific 5-year plan. I'm not sure about Sarah. She's kind of just, trying to domesticate her.
Yeah, Sarah takes a day at a time. I think she's never been one to have the luxury of planning too far into the future. So I think for her, it's like she's in the moment always.
In season 5, we had 2 newcomers, Cheyenne and Olivia. What was it like for you guys to sort of step onto a show that's 5 seasons in? What surprised you the most about being on Legends in your first year?
How much fun everyone was having. I kind of walked on and was like, right, I have to be so like on it and I have to know everything. And everyone's going to be, obviously everyone's professional. This isn't me saying that no one is, but it's just like, it was so easygoing. And I think I expected to be like proper like military, and I got very stressed about that, but it was the opposite. Everyone was so chilled and so welcoming and so lovely.
I was definitely nervous going into it, but pretty quickly I was like, oh, okay, this is, it's pretty relaxed and everyone's super chill. So
I mean, Sean, you had the added challenge of having to come in and pretend like you'd already been there for 3 seasons. How did you sort of make that work for yourself?
I just did it, I tried to chat as much as I could with everyone while, there's a lot of downtime on set, and just like get to know everybody here and there, and then, bring in what you can when we're doing this scene, and just keeping it relaxed.
Well, Nick, actually, I wasn't asking you, for you and Cheyenne, I mean, did you guys, because like Nate and Barada are supposed to be best buds in this season, I mean, did you guys do anything to like build that relationship? Like, you guys talk, like, I guess, what do you guys sort of talk about their friendship?
Shy and I got on quick. And like, I knew what he was coming into the same way I knew Maddie and Olivia, what they were coming into. And that's just something that's pre-established. And that's intimidating because I was a new guy on a lot of shows. So I know what it's like to walk in to not knowing everybody. Get out of your head and just be here with us. Like, I know you're nervous because there's like 7 people in the room. Like, even when Maddie did his first scene with us, like, he had to walk in and talk to 8 of us, talk at 8 of us, and then like hit on Wentworth on his way out. So it was like a really big, rough piece. And I feel that, and I wanted Shy not to have that, and let him know as soon as possible that like, hey man, just be here with us because we're all here with each other, and that's just kind of the way our magic works on the floor.
He did great at that. I remember we had a conversation day 1, and he was like, by day 4, you'll be feeling good. And he was exactly right. Day 4, I was like, I feel like I've been here the whole time. Like, this is great. So he nailed it.
Amy, you're in a unique position where Gideon, you're voicing Gideon, and I think you appear about once a season physically on screen. I mean, what's that experience like for you, sort of doing a lot of your work in a sound booth as opposed to being on the set with the cast that much.
It is always really interesting to like come into it from the other side, but I feel like I see you all the time anyway when I'm dropping the voice in, and I've known Matt from before this, so everyone's always super welcoming, and from my little booth in LA.
I'm curious, when you appear on screen as Gideon, I think because often it's usually like inside someone's mind or they're hallucinating, except for in the Lens of Tsunyama episode where hallucination. But I'm curious, when you play that, do you play it as how you envision Gideon yourself, or how you think the character you're playing opposite with envisions, like sees her?
Well, I mean, especially with the last one with Gary, we played that a lot because I think he sees her quite Mary Poppins-esque, hence do and everything was like, oh no, should have just done the whole thing. But yeah, so there's definitely an element to that, and I love everything that's always written. Always love what you guys write. It's amazing. So mostly it's been that, yeah.
I mean, this season you introduced a new version of Zari 2.0. And now as of the end of the season, you're continuing on as 2.0. How do you feel about sort of Zari 2.0 becoming the sort of permanent member on the Wave Rider?
I honestly, I do have mixed feelings about it because I really do love both Zari 1.0 and 2.0. So yeah, I was surprised how sort of genuinely sad I was shooting that last episode, and I had these like very split personality moments where I would be like mad at my other self shooting scenes. I would like just be like really angry at 2.0 or vice versa. So yeah, I mean, it's sort of a mixed bag. I'm excited about developing 2.0 further. But yeah, it was sad. It was sad to say goodbye to 1.0.
You're on the Wave Rider with Berai. I mean, what are, I guess for both you and Shai, I mean, what are you most looking forward to sort of exploring about their sibling dynamic that you didn't get a chance to do in season 5?
Yeah, I mean, even though like, we established this brother-sister relationship, we didn't actually get so much time to get in there before he died and came back to life. So yeah, I mean, I'm sort of interested in, now that like the walls are a little bit down between the two of them, what that, I still think, I mean, I sort of hope it's going to be still a little bit antagonistic brother-sistery, and I imagine the writers are going in that direction.
Yeah, like some childhood stuff I think would be really interesting, like exploring like what it was like growing up together, Behrad constantly being in the shadow of his older sister who just was amazing at everything. And
even though mom and dad like
reading our room notes?
Yeah. I just know, I can feel it.
Yeah. There was a little sister because we had Laurel on early on in the season. Yeah. So there's a little bit, but not nearly as in depth as we get to.
Just as well, like last season, when in lots of the episodes when Tala was playing 1.0 and 2.0, literally it'd be like, okay, everybody, you can take a little break now, take 5. And she'd be like going to the thing, changing into the other one, coming back, and like literally like driving the whole day.
There's a moment in the room where we were discussing, like, should we just keep them both forever? Do you remember? And then we were really having these discussions, and we're like, we're going to kill the crew. We're going to kill Tala. And there was a moment where like,
love it though, guys. I do love it.
I know.
I'm ready, but yes, I don't want the crew or any of you to hate me. So yeah.
We'll find a compromise.
For the writers, can you sort of shed a bit more light on what you guys have in store for these two siblings in season 6?
We have a great episode, I think it's number 2 actually, where we really get into exactly what it was like for you, Behrad, to grow up in the shadow of your sister and, having to establish sort of your own thing. And then, you're put into a time period and an undercover identity where you kind of get to do that thing. And she's the outsider, and she's the one who's flummoxed and doesn't know what's going on, and you kind of have to teach her a thing or two. And it's a really fun, opportunity for us to tell a story that is just about the sibling dynamic without the fraughtness of life or death, or which one are you, or trying to bring someone back to life. So this is a season where we're incredibly excited about diving more into the sibling dynamic.
Before we go into season 6, I have a few more questions. I mean, Matt, the season ended with Constantine getting his soul back. Just for you, how are you sort of feeling about?
Great, man. I've lockdown has been the biggest blessing in. I've come home. I've gathered my soul as Constantine. he's happy, I'm happy. That's it. Going on that journey with the astrologue story is such a huge part of the whole Constantine canon in the comic books and in the original show, and then what we've done with it on Legends and what the guys have written, and to kind of get to a place where that is wrapped up is really, really satisfying, and John is happy, which kind of gives me fear. A quaking fear in my boots, because how long does John stay happy for?
I mean, the other thing too is like Astra will be living with Constantine in his mansion. I mean, I guess for both Olivia and Matt, what are you both sort of looking forward to exploring about their dynamic?
If you kind of put Astra and John living together peacefully, I feel like maybe isn't gonna happen. So I think that it would be really fun to see them trying to cohabitate day in, day out, which is something that is it going to be possible? I don't know.
I love the idea of John being unhappy about him being happy.
Season 5 featured, just off the top of my head, so many really fun and interesting episodes. Mortal Kombat, the one where we're trapped on TV, Mr. Parker's cul-de-sac. For all of you, what were some of your favorite moments from this past season?
The episode where we're trapped on TV is my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's mine as well.
Yeah. It's an amazing episode, yeah.
We all attacked that with a very happy heart, and we all saw what it was going to look like while working to make it, and that kind of drove us through the hard part of making that episode.
It was really cool to become different characters, different universe. It's for doing Star Trek, our old version of Star Trek. We had so much fun doing that.
And seeing Jess, with the ears, and Katie doing, William Shatner. I mean, I think there were moments, weren't there, Nick, when we were sitting in the trailer and we were like, this is the most bonkers, ambitious episode that has ever been done on the show. It was great to kind of to pull it off and really good fun.
It should be noted, William Shatner tweeted Katie after that episode aired.
Really? Did he?
Yeah, he did.
No way.
Get some harsh
criticism
criticism with my impersonations.
Guggenheim directed that episode, and I remember on the day being like, okay, we're doing a little Spock Shatner throwback fun. Okay, we'll do a little Sarah and Ava as Spock and Shatner, and Mark kept pushing us to do in rehearsal more. I want more. I want the cadence more. And Katie and I were ran before the take and just started deep character study, YouTube Googling how William Shatner talks and how to do the cadence and how to do more. I lowered my register and my voice. I mean, it was insane. It was ridiculous.
Season 5 ended with Sarah being getting abducted by aliens. The writers, what's in store for Sarah in season 6?
Well, I don't know if we want to spoil too much, but I'll say with Sarah away, it's the kids kind of go crazy. I feel like Sarah's kind of one of the grounding influences on the show. The other might be Zari 1.0, but because she's in a totem, everyone's going a little bonkers in her absence. So we really looked at this season in terms of what would it do to people to have Sarah missing.
Yeah, and I think, Ava obviously would be a worthy replacement, but she obviously takes Sarah's absence the hardest, and she starts to, get a little bit frayed around the edges as well. So it leaves a bit of a power vacuum, which, unlikely people have to step up to fill.
Don't worry, we're not losing Sarah from this story. We will be tracking her adventure, even as she is separated from the team.
This show is such an ensemble show. I mean, what has it been like for you guys to sort of write these episodes when you have one of the lead characters completely separate from the rest of the cast? How's it been like writing those stories and breaking those stories and finding that balance?
I mean, it's useful when we can just focus on a single character or a pair of characters. I mean, the trouble we get into is when we want to try to tell too many stories at once. And so every season we kind of resolve to pare it down and to try to simplify things. Believe it or not, simplicity is really kind of like a luxury on a show like ours that is so crazy and complicated. It's nice to slow down once in a while and to to realize okay, yes, we'll get to that story eventually, but right now let's just try to focus on something that's you know, a little more manageable in scale.
I think we're also, as a room, really proud of how much joy this show can bring, and especially right now, it feels like everyone needs to see this show. So it's fun to feel like we have a real purpose right now.
I feel like the writers on this show are very close. What has it been like having to break a season via Zoom and not being in the physical room together?
We all really miss each other, but especially in the early months of the pandemic when there was so much uncertainty and so many questions, it actually was a really great sort of grounding daily activity to have to check in with each other and to see each other's faces. This is going to be a season that will hopefully bring a lot of joy and hope to people who watch it.
Mm-hmm. And the season, I know we're also getting a new legend this season. What can you guys tease about this new character that's coming on the Wave Rider?
She is a young Latinx woman from Texas who was kidnapped by aliens and is kind of got a thirst for vengeance. And so she's going to come up this ship, and she's not going to be the lovable losers that we normally have. She's going to be someone who is pretty tough and gives it to the other legends, and they're going to all have to react to her. And I think it's going to throw them off their feet a little bit.
If everyone joins the ship and is our best friends immediately, I mean, where's the story there? Like, you gotta earn that. You gotta earn your spot in the family,
There's a reason that so many characters have taken these kind of drastic turns. I mean, Jess came in as the straight woman at the Time Bureau, and then we realized, like, oh my God, we've got like Lucille Ball, like she could do comedy. So like, why are we making her do the serious stuff?
And this season's about aliens, and aliens are well-tried territory, both in the Arrowverse, also on TV. I mean, how are you guys trying to put your own spin on that? What does this season look like? How do aliens sort of change the game for the show, I guess, and challenge the theme in a different way?
Yeah, I mean, every season we try to go bigger and zanier, which is also interesting this season with, trying to be safe and film during possible quarantines. But I feel like if any show can do it, the Legends can do it.
Yeah, we're trying to really lean into some genres, like alien genres, which is, that's not, Supergirl does their own version of aliens, and we're really trying to make it feel and look different. We're really, putting our own stamp on it.
Nate has endured just tons of loss over his few scenes on the show. His great-grandfather, his father, Amaya, Zari 1.0, Ray. What's in store for Nate in season 6? And is there sort of any hope for him, I guess, like on the horizon for him?
For everything that you just said, Chance, I mean, we're acknowledging that, it's been a tough run for Nate. And, as someone who always tries to be like the cool guy who puts his like positive spin on things, like, we're going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It's getting harder and harder for him to do that.
Well, now it's time to move on to the true or false question / game. I'll read a statement, and you guys need to tell me if it's true or false. The first round is our Wave Rider round. First question. We have physically seen the character of Gideon 3 times over the course of the series. True or false?
It's once every season.
Once over the season, yes.
So it's false.
So,
yeah.
Amy, you'd know this one.
I was like, how many have I read? Oh, yeah.
Yes, actually 4 times. So next one, Neil McDonough, who played Damien Dark, once disappeared from set to coach his kid's soccer game. True or false?
True.
True.
Totally
true.
True. That's cute. Say it's true.
Okay, this one.
What's the answer? Wait, what was the answer?
True. Oh, sorry, it's true. It's true. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's true.
It's true, yeah. DC's Legends of Tomorrow was originally planned to be an anthology series. True or false?
False.
True.
True.
Phil?
What's an anthology series?
False.
True.
True.
Yeah, Katie and Cheyenne were right. It was. That is true. And finally, for this round, Mr. Parker was just a random name that sounded nice. True or false?
True. It sounds like a true thing.
False, actually. Mr. Parker is named after Phil's assistant, Ian Parker.
Oh,
Sweet.
who knew?
Did
Can
Matt
I just
get
say how
jealous?
much we all love the guy who played Mr. Parker. He's
Oh
just
my
like the most.
goodness.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, brilliant.
It's just like
He's so great.
For season 1, the only British legend that wears a trench coat is John Constantine. True or false?
False.
False it is, yes, because there's also Rip. R.I.P. 2, symptoms of time travel include all of the following: nausea, vomiting, vertigo, temporary blindness, flatulence, and in rare instances, bleeding from the eyeballs. True or false?
True.
True.
True. Sure.
True. That is true.
Actually, it's false.
What?
Flatulence is not a symptom of time travel.
Wouldn't the legends know? I
Really?
mean, the legends know best.
No. How do you know, Chancellor?
Fair. I'll get that one to you guys.
I think Ava can contest to that.
Okay, for season 2, George Lucas is responsible for the powers of 2 of the 8 legends in season 2. True or false?
Is it responsible?
Yeah.
False.
False.
I'd say true.
I'm sticking with
Because
true. It's weird.
He's doing lots of.
It's
Yeah,
true.
you became a historian because of Indiana Jones.
Indiana
Yeah, but I
Jones.
became a superhero because of a.
Yeah, but you
Indiana
wouldn't have
Jones.
been a
You're a historian.
superhero
Little
unless you're a
vague.
historian.
Little vague.
Again, I'm reading what was given.
Whole episode about it. Where when he decided not to finish film school, suddenly you became a yoga instructor, and what did Ray become?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you guys both lost your powers.
That was fun.
Okay, season 3, and I think this is going to be an easy one. The team uses the totems to join their powers to become Elmo and defeat Malice in an epic Wild West showdown. True or false?
Malice. No, it is Malice. False.
Well, it's not Elmo.
No,
It's
it's
Elmo.
Bebo. Bebo. When Ava recruits Constantine to help with Sarah's possession, she finds him chasing a pig around the room. True or false?
True.
No, it was a chicken. It was a rooster.
Jess is right. Yeah. For season 4, so in a truly meta episode, the team is split into multiple timelines, very similar to TV shows, like Custodians of the Chronology, Sirens of Spacetime, The Fellowship of Tomorrow, Kittens of Meow Meow, and Puppets of Tomorrow. True or false?
No, there was no Kittens of Meow Meow, and the one before that as well, Legends of Meow Meow or something.
False. False.
False.
Chance.
That was an episode.
That's correct. Yeah.
False.
Fellowship of Tomorrow and Kittens of Meow Meow were not real things. Finally, for season 5, Ava Sharp's podcast on serial killers is called Slay Anything. True or false?
True, isn't it?
I don't think so, but that's a good name.
Was that the episode name?
That's the episode name.
It's false. And it's called Stabcast.
Stabcast.
Cisco brought his own dragon microphone when he performed in the season 5 finale. True or false?
True.
We have some fan questions that we've received from around the world, apparently. So from the first one, it comes from the Philippines. Legends has a lot of musical moments. Is a full-blown musical episode in the cards?
Yeah, why not? Anything's
Yeah.
in the cards. We'll literally do anything.
Yeah.
Wait, does it mean that we don't have to write
should
it?
name
That
our
seems
show that.
amazing. Like if we don't
No,
have
you
to,
still have to write
just a bunch
stuff. You
of
have to write little
songs.
interstitial. No, you
Oh.
gotta have some interstitial things that then turn into songs. Remember?
That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, like recitative, like speak
Yeah.
singing.
Next question comes from Argentina for the cast, and I guess for the writers as well. How has DC's Legends of Tomorrow changed your lives?
I was an overnight success. I went from a nobody to a somebody. I flew first class for the first time. I got to meet all these incredible people. I got to meet Brandon. I told him the first day I worked with him, I was 12 years old when I saw Superman Returns, and now I'm here with you doing to see it. It's crazy.
For me, it's like this is what's kept me playing Constantine and being able to explore that character in ways that I never thought I would ever.
Being together and doing these insane things allows me appreciation for the opportunity. that I know is on the clock, like everything is on TV. And I just sort of like, I've never been in a position to where I've been aware of how special it is in real time.
This time, this strange time that we're all going through, like, not to speak for you guys, but I think I love our show, but I miss our show so intensely right now. And I really hope I never take it for granted, but like this time has really, really made me appreciate it and really made me miss what we have, what we've built, really, because it doesn't happen. It takes time, I think, and it takes the right group of people, which like miraculously are assembled, you know, season after season.
It makes you so grateful that we have professionals that like care so much about this show that they're willing to push themselves every episode, you know, as if it's the last. It really is precious.
And final question for the writers: what ideas have you had that have been abandoned for one reason or another in terms of like storylines for the show?
We always wanted to get Katie to breakdance, like in the 80s.
Yes.
We've never done that.
We're always
So
just
many.
trying to crack each other up, and sometimes we get a little too outlandish. So sometimes we have to be range-bound.
I think that's all the time we have. Thank you all for joining us for this. It's been really fun. For everyone watching, please remember that DC's Legend of Tomorrow, the complete 6th season, is available now on digital and drops on DVD and Blu-ray on September 22nd. And Legend of Tomorrow will be back for season 6 in mid-season 2021. Thank you guys.
Something to hold on to, gotta find it
Quanto
first.
siamo rimasti,
But
ragazzi?
here I am.
Tre.
'Cause I've been laying under
Come vi sembrano
for the summer, knowing
questi
there's
panel,
nowhere
le
to
stagioni?
go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my fun-land. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
to life. You really do, across the board.
Well, it all starts with you, so thank you. And there's one more. What other members of the JSA do you want to see join the new JSA?
Amy Smart. Barbara. Bring Barbara in. That's what I want.
Love it.
I want to see some closure with this pink pin. Like, bring me Jakeem. I need it for sure.
Yep.
Right. I keep thinking of the Green Lantern just because the little lantern was flickering, like, you know, from the beginning. They go back to it a lot. So, I mean, that'd be cool. I agree.
Know what the best thing about this is that I'm so excited we get to do season 2 with everybody, because we do have so many other things to explore with these characters and other avenues and other characters that exist out in the world to meet and introduce, and we'll do it, you know, the best way we can, and we'll do it at our own pace, but we will definitely be playing with things like the pink pen in season 2.
Will you be making a cameo?
Yeah, please. That'd be so fun.
Just like a suited superhero that shows up for 1 second and just.
I'm super excited to watch you guys and write you great scripts.
And maybe direct an episode too.
Yeah, we'll see all about the timing right now. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm just excited to. I mean, it's a dream come true to be able to do this again with everybody here. Like, it's so exciting to me. All that other stuff is like gravy, you know, just because I love you guys. It's been the best experience of my life. And I'm just excited I get to spend more time with you. It's gonna be so fun.
Oh. Well, I think this is it. We need to thank the fans for getting everybody to season 2. So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much, everybody watching. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much for watching. We love you. Okay.
It's so nice to see you guys. Yay!
Nice to
You
see you.
too,
Nice
Leah.
to see you.
Great seeing you guys.
Ok ragazzi, il DcFanDome è finito, sono in programmazione. Mi dispiace che il panel di Stargirl non si sia sentito, per cui lo rilascerò in riproduzione adesso, senza la mia facecam. E niente, per questa live è tutto, spero vi siate divertiti, spero l'abbiate trovato interessante e basta, alla prossima.
Welcome to DC Fan.
Welcome to DC Fandom. My name is Leah Thompson, and you are watching the Stargirl panel. For those of you who may not know, I have a special, very special heart connection to Stargirl, as I directed episode 7, Shiv Part 1. So I am absolutely thrilled to join my friends, Jeff Johns and the whole cast, to discuss the fantastic, yay, first season. We have with us today the creator, the everything, the EP, Jeff Johns, and the members of the new JSA Stargirl, Breck Bassinger, woo, woohoo, Wildcat, Yvette Monreal, Dr. Midnight, Angelica Washington, our man, Camera Gelman, and our matriarch, keeping everyone honest, Barbara, played by Amy Smart. So great to see you guys.
Hey.
Yeah.
What's up, fam?
So we're gonna play a little game because that's what we do here in COVID land, right? We play little games on Zoom meetings, right? So Angelica, we're gonna have to ask you to share your powers with us as we play a little game called Things Dr. Midnight Knows About Me. We are all gonna get on our goggles. Do you guys have goggles? We're gonna get on our goggles. All right. And we're gonna learn a few fun things that maybe only Dr. Midnight knew before. All right, Jeff, let's start with you.
Oh.
It's our fearless leader. What are 5 things that Dr. Midnight would know about you? That we
5
didn't?
things. Okay, I'll try and keep these somewhat Stargirl related for fun. For those who've seen the show, thank you for watching the show very much. We all worked really hard on it, and we're really proud of it and excited that we're going on to season 2, which is awesome. One of the things you'll see in the first episode, if you haven't watched it, but you probably have, is Pat has this big boy keychain. And I actually, when I grew up in Detroit, there was a big boy on my street corner. So we used to walk. My dad would take all the kids there, and we just have ice cream and burgers and stuff. So it's a place I remember fondly. And moving out to LA, there's a Big Boy in Burbank. So Big Boy's kind of got a special meaning to me. Related to food, because I like food. I worked in a restaurant for 4 years in Michigan. And so when Pat cooks, a lot of what I enjoy about cooking, I love cooking. I gave Pat, I like that Pat cooks. I like that he's the cook of the house. I like the episode where Amy's freaking out because she can't get dinner ready for 8 people. And all the cars in the show, the Buick in there, all the cars in the pit stop, that all came from a love I learned about cars from my very first boss, Dick Donner. So thanks, Dick. And originally when I wrote Stars and Stripes, #1, I had envisioned that Pat built a robot that he controlled remotely from the house, and he wasn't inside it. Someone told me, oh, they just did a robots and kids story somewhere. And so I said, oh, well, why don't I have Pat actually pilot the robot? And it changed the whole concept because Pat is with Courtney there. And I don't know, I don't think it would have worked nearly as well if I hadn't had Pat and Courtney in the same space, if he was back home remotely controlling the robot. So that was kind of a happy little accident. And then finally, Cindy, in the comic books, originally her father wasn't going to be Dragon King, but a villain named, for all the DC fans, a villain named Cobra. So those are things that Dr. Midnight knows.
That is awesome. That is really good.
Those are so cool.
Those are great.
Yeah, I don't have great ones like that.
So now we have to go to Stargirl. Brett, what do you got?
Mine are a lot more concise. Dr. Midnight would know that Breck was a mathlete for 4 years, gold medalist. She likes to trick people into eating her amazing gluten-free baking. I also like cooking. She dreams of traveling to New Zealand. She recently found a coffee addiction while filming Stargirl, night shoots. And this is a fun little Stargirl fact. Stargirl and Breck were both seen on Earth for the first time in 1999. Year I was born, year Stargirl was first seen in a comic.
Same month, too. Same exact month, May.
See, it wasn't May 1999 because the comic book I have says June, so I wasn't.
Yeah, the comic books always have like the dates a little bit off because for the newsstand it was like take it off in June. I don't know exactly how it works, but it was released in May.
So May 1999, both Stargirl and I entered this Earth.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, it totally meant to be. I totally believe that stuff.
So Amy, we want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes. Well, I took it more personally for the most part. So Dr. Midnight knows that I'm an introvert and that most times I'd rather be reading a book at my house than at a party. Another one was I was a ballerina for 10 years.
Oh my gosh. That's going in an episode.
I was ballerina. Another one is I have a doll eye. What does that mean? Just a doll eye.
Cool.
Oh.
I am a certified Kundalini yoga teacher.
Cool.
Did not know that.
My last little trivia fact is my character Barbara is named after Jeff's real life mom, Barbara.
Aww.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that is true.
Thanks, Dr. Midnight.
All right, Yvette.
Oh, hello. Okay, so my 5 fun facts that Dr. Midnight knows about me is that one of our first hangouts, mine, Breck, and Angelica's, was when I went apartment shopping with them. And it was so fun because it was the first time we were hanging out, and it just was a bonding moment. Number 2, I randomly took a picture of the Wildcat comic online in 2014, and I sent that to you. Remember, Jeff?
Yeah.
And now I'm cast as her in 2000, years
Right.
later. So
Yeah.
that was kind of crazy. Number 3, the first time I learned about anyone being celiac was with you guys, with Breck and Cameron. So you guys taught me about that. Number 4, I was notoriously known on set and off set to have my phone, and that's because in high school I wanted to be an editor and work in special effects, so I knew I always had to capture those moments so that I can edit it together, and later on it paid off, which it did. Totally paid off
So
now,
did.
right?
Totally.
Okay.
You have the best videos.
Of anyone.
They are great.
And thanks, guys. And number 5, Breck and I, towards the end of the season, we would go in the trailer and watch reality TV. Remember? Are You the One? I think that was a great bonding experience for us. So that's a random fact that you didn't know.
All right.
Wow.
Cameron,
Okay. Woo.
you're up.
Yes.
Woo!
Okay, 5 things that Dr. Midnight knows about me. The first one is that I plan to buy a camper trailer and drive to all 419 U.S. national parks in the course of this next decade in my 20s. And I have a little fun for it that Stargirl is helping pay for. Second, as a kid, I was always dressed as a superhero. And as a result, I was always getting injured because I was the world's biggest klutz. And my 7th and 8th birthday parties, I had superhero gymnastics parties. And the first year I was Batman and I ran into a balance beam and I had to get stitches. And the second year I was Spider-Man and I missed the foam pit off of a zip line and I fell on my face. So I left that year too. And both years they ate my cake still. My third, that's very sad. My third fact is that as a kid, I thought that Tarzan was a superhero, and Tarzan is my favorite superhero because I love swing sets more than anything. I am 100% sure I can talk to animals, and yeah, and I want to live in a treehouse in the jungle. So yeah, and that goes to my 4th, which is that I do want to travel the world making documentaries for animals with the specific effort of conservation. So that's super important to me and pairs with my Tarzan dream. And then my 5th is that I have never worked with anyone that had celiacs or type 1 diabetes. And I found such a magical partner and teammate in Breck. And that support was life-changing for me. So
Me too.
those are my 5.
Okay, so what does Dr. Midnight know about Dr. Midnight? Angelica.
Well, I feel like Dr. Midnight, actually, I know Dr. Midnight knows everything because that's me. So we know all things, but some 5 fun facts that I love, things that some people may not know, but Breck and I actually got to live together the entire time of filming season 1 of Stargirl. And we'll do it again season 2 because we're so excited. Yay! Number 2, I actually bonded with Cam the most on set because we're both obsessed with Hamilton the musical, which now the world is like finally able to see. And we sing it all the time, like all day in our trailers on set, whenever. We know every word. I mean, don't like hold me to that, but we know a lot of the words and it's really great. That's my favorite thing ever. The third thing is when not filming on set of Stargirl on our days off or on weekends, I actually would color my hair often, usually with hair chalk. But right now I have like this like reddish pink thing, and I was actually inspired by Starfire. So I really, really wanted to, I just love her and love Titans. And so I was like, I'm going to color my hair like hers because she's awesome. And the last one to tell you is that my favorite thing to do with my cast ever, the one thing we do the most when not filming is eat.
Bar taco.
Yes.
Bar taco. Love bar taco.
And that
Man,
gluten-free
those are-
place.
All of the
Yes.
chickabiddy.
Free place, chickabiddy, all of them. But surprise, I did all my 5 fun facts. Leo, what does Dr. Midnight know about you?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
See. Well, Dr. Midnight would know that I love you all. You are amazing. This is an amazing cast, and it was such an amazing experience working with all of you. You work so hard. The show is so great. It's so uplifting, and I could get verklempt. I just had the best time. You were all so great. So I know that Dr. Midnight would know that about me. I love each and every one of you. Let me think. Let's see. I was a ballet dancer too, but I'm not a yoga teacher. And my nickname is Mini Pork.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
Don't know why. That's my nickname.
That's awesome.
Like the meat?
I don't know. It's just Mini Pork. And I have a tractor that's 35 years old that I drive, that I can drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I have I have 5 horses and 32 chickens, a rooster, 3 dogs, a bunch of really fat koi. They're really happy. And so every day I have to put the chickens away, and I almost kill myself because the coyotes to get them. So someday if you see me with a broken arm, it's because I'm trying to gather the chickens. I'm not a great chicken whisperer is my thing. But let's see, that's something. I'm the youngest of 5, and I like to paint and sing and direct and meet you all. So that was 5, right?
That was so good.
Great.
Hey.
So good. We're more organized.
That was great.
That was so good.
That was so fun learning about you guys. We should do this more often.
I know.
So, do it. Now we're going to revisit one of the most intense moments from the epic last episode. Go.
My turn.
I don't have time for this.
Whoa, that was
so good.
Crazy.
So good.
Insane.
How did you do that?
That was crazy. How do you do that?
My favorite part is like, I don't have time for this. Love it.
How much strength left do you think you had, Rick, when you just like,
I know. I had 5 minutes.
whoa.
Yeah. I have 5 minutes, and Pat's wife is in trouble. Amy's in trouble. And I'm like, go get your lady. I got this. I've got 5. That's how that goes.
So good.
Yeah.
I love seeing Grundy.
Yeah,
and
Grundy's
Stripe.
awesome. I got to give Andrew Orloff and Zoic props, the VFX team, and Kevin Struckman who was there. But they just made such a cool Grundy. That's so true to the comic books. And Stripe looks awesome, and that fight was a lot of fun. You know, I never thought I'd be able to see a live action Stripe versus Solomon Grundy, but that was cool.
So cool.
Incredible.
Yep.
Incredible.
So cool. It's just amazing what you guys can do, and the actors with all their, you know, commitment to the special effects is really sells everything.
Totally.
I mean,
So
Breck had a whole thing with the staff. She had to learn how to make the staff come alive when it wasn't there.
It was like puppetry almost, but it was definitely a learning experience. How was it, Cam? Was this like your first time fighting something that wasn't there?
Yeah. No, for sure. It was, I mean, I had a big green pickle. And that's, yeah, I had a big, you didn't see that? Yeah, I had a big green pickle with a sad face on it. And that was my Grundy. So thankfully I had something to hit, and I had the amazing stunts team, and I had Ben Akrig advising me on like how to get power into these punches. But yeah, I had a big green pickle.
I always think there should be a special Emmy or Academy Award for trying to perform with a big green pickle. And
I think so too.
It's so much harder.
It's so much harder, and it was sad. It had a sad face that distracted me because I was like, it's clearly bummed out, and I'm hitting it. Like I wish it had like an angry face, you know.
I hope we get to see more of those epic battles in the next season. I'm sure we will. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm excited for people to see more of Grundy. He's not gone just yet.
Ooh.
Camera knows what we're gonna do with Grundy.
Oh, for sure.
I'm super cool
excited.
story ideas for Grundy coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah, everybody did such an amazing job, and you guys all did such a gorgeous job in the fight scene in the dungeon. Like watching every single person that we worked with show up in suits and like clash with each other. I think it's such a cool way for our show to end. Like everybody was so great.
I was screaming at the TV. It was so exciting.
I love it. On the edge of my seat, like every moment, like what's happening next? What's happening next? It's so good.
And it's such a treat to see it when it's finally done, because it's so different than the actual experience of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm really excited about going back for season 2 because I feel like now I'll have a better picture. Like I know what Stripe fighting will look like because I've seen it.
Yeah, when you read the scripts and then you see it on TV, it's, for me, it's just so different. I'm like, wait, oh my God.
Did you guys see Jurassic World when at the end the two like T-Rexes fight each other?
Yeah.
That's what this fight felt like. Like
yeah.
Like the two biggest, craziest like digital characters in the show have an entire sequence, and it's so like larger than life, and then you like have Pat in the cockpit and all of us in there. Like it's just such a masterpiece of a sequence.
Talk about season 2.
Yeah, where does it go, Jeff? Where does it happen? Tell us.
Well, I think one of the important things at the end of season 1 is when we introduce Eclipso. That's very important.
Whoa.
Absolutely. Jeff, I know what the people want to know. Will I have Hootie season 2?
I love Hootie. I love that Hootie's waiting for Dr. Midnight all this whole time. We will definitely be talking about Hootie at some point. So
we're gonna have some fan questions, all right? So this is from Daniel. Who would win a fight, the old JSA or the new JSA? Jeff, I think you should answer this. What do you think?
That's well, it'd be weird to see them fight. So but it all depends who. This is a cop out answer, but it's the truth. It depends who's on the team. Like, I would hate to see this. I think that's a much bigger question. I think the question is, would they ever fight and why?
What if it was the original, like you know how it's Wildcat, Hourman, Dr. Midnight, and
Wildcat versus
Stargirl?
Wildcat, Hourman versus Hourman.
That'd be so cool.
I already know who would win.
That sounds really cool.
I would never fight Chuck a day in my life.
No.
Yeah, I know. I thought Dr. Midnight's we just talk. They talk.
See who can out-talk each other.
I just assume that the younger generation would be faster and more limber. I assume that like the older peeps are sore and their joints hurt, and so
they have experience.
You know,
I would assume. I would know. I think your dad might kick your ass.
You know how people and young people play tennis, the young people are running around and the old people are just hitting the shot.
They're more strategic. Yeah.
They have more experience, so
Yeah.
they like know what to do.
If I fought my dad, I'd call like a fake truce with him so that he thought we were cool, and then I'd hit him.
Good.
That's a very Rick thing to do, by the way.
Yeah, I know it's not cool.
Very Rick thing to do. Rex would never do that.
Yeah. Or I'd hit him with the Mustang.
I'd rather, know what I'd rather, Daniel? I would rather the two teams. What would the two teams have to team up to fight? How big would that threat have to be for both teams to come together? That would be cool.
So this is from Carla. What do you guys do during breaks?
I think we would dance a lot. Remember this move, guys?
Yep.
That was a good one.
We eat a lot, lots of eating towards crafty.
Yeah.
Lots of coffee. We love coffee runs. We love coffee.
We were always on the river or the lake. We went to water sources.
We would hang out outside of set too, and we'd go dancing. Once again, I guess we dance either way, but
we love
I know, dance on and off.
We danced at gas stations.
We danced at gas stations. Oh my gosh, we danced everywhere.
You know what we also love to do that people don't know? We would sneak into Neil and Chris's apartment
I never did that.
To use their pool because their apartment had a pool and ours didn't. And we would just we befriended other people who lived there so we could show up and use their pool. But they would also let us use it, like if they were there. But if they were like on set filming, we would just go.
It was just cutting out the middleman. Be like, we don't want to ask you anymore.
You guys are crazy.
I remember I was just talking to Chris about this. I remember there was a day where he was like on a phone call on his balcony, and I was just down there like having a drink with my hat on, and he saw me and he was like, and he called over to Neil. I was like, "Did you invite him?" He's like, "No, he just shows up now." And then they came down. Like, I think I overstayed my welcome, but it's fine. We had waterfall ball. We invented an Olympic sport at that pool because it had a very specially crafted fountain that was an L shape and then ran water down. So you throw a ball into it and you try to time it and then you jump and catch it. It's very difficult. I did it once the whole time.
You also taught the neighbors that game.
I think since we all dance so much and, you know, obviously Amy's character, Amy is a ballerina. I think we should have a dancing sequence at some point where we all do ballet or something.
A musical episode, perhaps?
No, not a musical episode. Just like a random, like we're running into trouble. We go into this like ballet thing, and Barbara's the teacher, and we're just like pretending to be part of her class, and then we go and keep fighting crime.
I think that's a great season 9 idea. A great.
Or there's a villain that makes us dance, like in Midsommar, where like they can't stop dancing, like what's happening to us, and they like die of dehydration.
That's a great season 10 idea.
Noted.
So let me get to this question. Sabrina said, is there a chance Beth will get to work with an owl? We would really love to see that team up.
I would also love to see that. That's a question for Jeff.
There's always a chance. There's always a chance.
Always a chance. William asked, what would you all like to see next for your characters? Amy, are you still there?
I'm here. You know, Jeff, I would be so okay with a superpower.
Season 11.
Yes.
Season 11.
Season 11.
At least give me a dream sequence superpower.
Well, there's a I don't want to spoil anything for season 2, but because we're just breaking it right now.
Your superpower is your charm.
Aww.
Yes.
Thanks,
Being
Leah.
a mama.
You're also a mom. Being a mom is totally a superpower.
Listen, I totally agree with all you, but I want to fly. Or
Noted.
What about the rest of you? What would you like to see with your characters?
I would like to see more of my castmates have like a love interest or a love story.
Ooh.
But like it doesn't have to be me. Like no Jeff. Like I don't know. It doesn't have to be me. It just everyone else would be great.
Boys are evil. Kidding. I would probably want just to see the dynamic of what happens with my family, just like how that comes together, just because the last time I spoke with them, they kind of was just like, nope, you're still in trouble. And then, so just to see where, like, I've been out a lot. I've been helping Courtney a lot, just to see like how how that whole thing is developing.
I would love, besides the relationship stuff, because the teenage girl in me will always want that in TV shows, but also the rivalry with Shiv. I just love their rivalry. I think it's so interesting. I keep saying this, but it reminds me of like Kim Possible and Shigo, and it's so catty and dynamic. I'd love to see more Stargirl and Shiv.
That's definitely happening.
Oh, good. Great.
Cameron.
I really want time with my dad, with Lou, Lou Jr. I met him on set, and I think he's such a wonderful guy, and I watched him film these scenes with my younger me. But I think it'd be so cool if there was like a reckoning scene, even if it was in Rick's head, you know, where he gets to deal with like confronting his father and his father seeing who he is now. And I think that would be super cool, like connecting with his roots, even if it's a ghost or you know.
Taz Nim has a cool question. Angelica and Yvette, both of you are women of color playing superheroes and representing your respective communities. How important is this to you?
Well, for me, I think that, it's a known fact that Latinos are underrepresented in television. So it's really important. I feel like I'm one of the only Latina superheroes on TV. So to be able to be Latina and be a superhero, that's extremely important. I feel like a lot of people say this, but it's so cool to have little kids look up to you and say, hey, like, that could be me, or like, follow their dreams. So I think it's extremely important, and I'm so glad I'm representing for the Latinx community.
Love that. Completely agree, Yvette, and you're doing an amazing job of being the role model and inspiration to others. For me as a Black woman, I'm just so grateful that I even just like Yvette, we get the opportunity to do this. Growing up, I never saw like a live action Black female superhero ever. So I'm just really excited for every Black and brown girl really to be able to see themselves through our cast, whether it be through me as Beth or Yvette as Yolanda. So I'm just really grateful and honored that we both get to share an amazing responsibility to be representation for young girls who look like us, so they know that like one day I could also be a superhero, and that there is no limit and there is no ceiling on any of your dreams.
Oh, wow. And thank you, Jeff, for writing these great characters.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff.
They're all great. They're all great characters. We have a wonderful writer's room. They're wonderful characters, but you guys bring them to life. You really do, across the board.
Well, it all starts with you, so thank you. And there's one more. What other members of the JSA do you want to see join the new JSA?
Amy Smart. Barbara. Bring Barbara in. That's what I want.
Love it.
I want to see some closure with this pink pin. Like, bring me Jakeem. I need it. For sure.
Yep.
Right.
I keep thinking of the Green Lantern just because the little lantern was flickering, like, from the beginning. They go back to it a lot. So, I mean, that'd be cool.
I agree.
Know what the best thing about this is that I'm so excited we get to do season 2 with everybody, because we do have so many other things to explore with these characters and other avenues and other characters that exist out in the world to meet and introduce. And we'll do it, the best way we can, and we'll do it at our own pace, but we will definitely be playing with things like the pink pen in season 2.
Will you be making a cameo?
Yeah, please. That'd be so fun.
Just like a suited superhero that shows up for 1 second and just.
I'm super excited to watch you guys and write you great scripts.
And maybe direct an episode too.
Yeah, we'll see all about the timing right now. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm just excited to. I mean, it's a dream come true to be able to do this again with everybody here. Like, it's so exciting to me. All that other stuff is like gravy, just because I love you guys. It's been the best experience of my life. And I'm just excited I get to spend more time with you. It's going to be so fun.
Oh. Well, I think this is it. We need to thank the fans for getting everybody to season 2. So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much, everybody watching. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much for watching. We love you. Okay.
It's so nice to see you guys. Yay!
Nice to
You
see you.
too,
Nice
Leah.
to see you.
Great seeing you guys.